for a break to start the final.
Yeah, absolutely. And saw that during the match, and FSR's commented in the booth that he's worked hard on this break. Certainly showed up a few times against SVB, and it's shown up here to start this final. A little straight here, so he may have to cheat the pocket to get some movement on the cue ball, easy movement. Talk about a confidence booster to start, holding the line on the cue ball nicely, and the speed is perfect. Very nervy shot drawn between the 6 and 8.
So many subplots going on here tonight. One of them concerns the Mosconi Cup, which Alcaide has played in 4 times without ever being on the losing side. Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, his Spanish World Cup winning partner, has already been confirmed as the first automatic qualifier for the European team. So now there's a new race going on for the second automatic spot. That'll be decided after the US Open next month. If Alcaide wins tonight, he will be at number 1 in that race for the second spot. If he loses, he won't even be in the top 5 of it. So a huge difference.
Yeah, it's not just the title and the prize money here that's up for grabs for David Alcaide. There's more to it.
Yeah, so far very clean on every stroke. And yeah, I mean, 2 World Pool Masters titles, but you'd have to say his biggest title would be the European Open if he went on to win it.
Well, it's a different challenge, isn't it? The World Masters, it's only a few matches. Yes, they're all against very good players. It's pretty much only the elite who get into the World Masters, but the challenge of this, winning match after match, all decent distances as well, over the course of a week. Arguably a bigger achievement.
Oh my. I was going to say he fell a little flat, but you know, his body language told me it wasn't that bad.
Surprised he was cueing down so low to play the cue ball that way.
Yeah, and I don't really chalk that up as dogging it, really. Just maybe losing a little focus on the pot, really.
Yeah, and for as good as David is, I think that is something that is in his game. He has a tendency to not cue the ball too clever, and that causes a miss.
Alcaide made quite a few errors early on in the semi-final earlier today. He's made a big one in the very first rack of this final tonight. So Anton Raga takes it. Before the final, we spoke to him.
First time to matchroom event. I'm so excited to matchroom finals in the Europe is a tournament. Very important title for me, for my country, to my Philippines. Big happy.
If he wins this final tonight, it's really going to underline what this new World Nineball Tour is all about. It's bringing together players from around the world, because he's not featured on this tour before. And everyone in the game knew about him. This is what Matchroom are trying to achieve. Creating one supreme circuit where everyone comes together from around the world.
Anton Raga at the break, leading by 1 rec to 0.
Yeah, how does David feel sat in his chair? He must be thinking, what have I done there in the opening rack?
Man, really every shot was pinpoint. May get a chance to redeem himself quickly. I think the one's a little covered up. We'll see. That's one thing that Raga, every player has struggled a little bit on this table at times. There's been dry breaks by all the players that have made these later stages, but for the most part, Raga's broke the balls exceptionally well.
Yeah, certainly the latter stages of his semi-final against Philip. It's gone a little wrong this, but David's just got to be happy to be out of the chair straight away, because how many matches can you play where you make a glaring error like that and your opponent can run 2, 3, 4 racks and you're just sat watching, and then you feel like the final's getting away from you.
Yeah, and a player that's been slated during this event to run many racks. So, a little awkward on the 1 ball. I thought he may just bump the 9 and take the tougher shot on the 2. He's going to play the 8. Pretty crafty there.
Yeah, Anton Raga, well, he has the record on tour. He won a 7-pack against Ko Pin-Yi. That is 7 racks, one after another.
This crowd, of course, wanted Joshua Filler to win the European Open tonight, but I think Anton Raga has emerged as their favourite as the week has gone on. Alcaide, a popular figure himself, though.
All right, he's got to shoot the gap between the brown 7 and the purple 5, coming 1 rail down, and speed's got to be pretty good not to land straight. He's got to pay attention, maybe catch the 9 on the way down with the cue ball.
Well, he has been very fortunate there. Even got a nice little angle.
And here I just roam close, don't get too thin. You can always go forward off the green 6 or the 5 to play the green 6 in the side, so don't think you have to have the perfect angle. Just don't want a missable 5 ball.
The 50-yard line. He's left himself a little test up. It's only rack 2, but after the mistake in rack 1, you just get the feeling this is a big, big shot. I believe he was trying to come past the 7 ball.
Yeah, now can he get very close to the 9? Can't take his eye off the 7, that's for sure, but gonna have a bit of a tester on the 9 no matter what, I believe.
Again, a little fortunate the cue ball landed there. At least it left him an easy pot into that side. If he's going to miss this, see it time and time again, it just catches that bottom rail.
Passed up such a good chance to win the opening rack. But he's got it done there. Alcaide levels up 1-all. Didn't have much time after the completion of his semi-final, but he did find time to talk to us.
I'm trying to give my best always when I play billiard. Of course, when you play this amazing event or whatever event for mushroom, it's special. But I'm trying to give my best in this final. Anton Raga or Joshua feeling as the that they play so good during the tournament, I know I need to give my level is up in this final. But if you miss 2 or 3 easy shots, maybe you can to win.
Third rack.
As I was saying, Jeremy, he made his share of mistakes in that semi-final, but it seemed every time he did something like that, he got an immediate chance to make up for it, and that theme has continued at the start of the final.
Yeah, you still have to take advantage of it, though. Cue ball.
Cross
Ooh.
stroke.
And that one, even though it looked
Bottom
unfortunate, a little on David, and he knows it, sending the cue ball 1 rail towards that side pocket.
And please start the shot clock.
There's enough bad kisses out there on the cue ball after the break, but if you send the cue ball near one of the pockets, that just enhances the chances of something bad happening.
Number in brackets is effectively Raga's seeding for the tournament. His current world ranking position is listed as number 172. Well, that's going to change. Even if he loses this final, he'll crack the world's top 50. And if he wins it, he'll be just outside the top 20 in the world.
You often say when SVB's playing JJ, he's got crazy eyes. Raga's very similar, you know, when he lines down that shot, his eyes really zone in.
Yeah, I'd watched him a few times, of course, prior to this European Open. And what I always liked, now it's slowed down a little bit, but when he gets down on the ball, he pulls the trigger and just plays with a lot of confidence. And like most of great Filipino players through the years, it usually makes sense, whatever he's doing.
Yeah, he's not happy with that one as he walked round, just because it's a little thin. It's not so much the pot.
The extension, please.
It's the fact that he's just left himself just a little bit of something to do. He doesn't want to be travelling with the cue ball. He may have to. Maybe to slow roll it as well. Well, no, there you go. How's the pace? Pace looks good to me. The pace looks good to me.
Just about perfect, in fact. So having drawn level, David Alcaide scratched off his break. Gave Anton Raga the chance to regain the lead, and he's taken it. Anton Raga, in the very early stages of this European Open final, leads by 2 racks to 1. Whatever happens now, Anton Raga has been the breakout star of this year's European Open, but he wants more. He wants to leave here as the champion. And when we all leave here, we'll be looking forward to coming back in 12 months' time for another staging of the European Open in fantastic Fulda. Anton Raga just ahead in the early stages at 2-1, 13 the target.
Where's the cue ball?
Foul stroke. Ball in net. Give me 1 sec, please, David.
Nothing much you can do about that. That's part of the sport. When a random ball kicks it into a pocket.
Yeah, and Raga pulls the cue ball. It's about as far inward on the box than any player on the break shot.
Thank you. Please start the clock.
A lot of work here for David, though, and there's a few reasons why. The 5 doesn't pass the 8, so he's got to get for the 5 in the lower left. When we get another look here at the table, you'll see from the pink 4 to the purple 5, the 7 is a big ball kind of blocking that coming across the table. So he's first got to draw into position for the 3. I don't know if it goes into the side or not. I guess it does. But then he's also got to get in a nice position to get across again off the 4 to the purple 5.
Spoke earlier about the Mosconi Cup implications for Alcaide tonight. In terms of the world rankings, even if he loses, he climbs back up to number 15, which even after his struggles earlier in the year is 2 places higher than he started 2023. If he wins the final, he's in the top 10.
A little bit more would have been ideal, but at least he's got a look at this ball. A little slow on with a bit of left drag shot to kill the cue ball.
The extension, please.
It's a steep angle.
Yeah, it's a shot, though, that him and Fran usually kind of excel at. Definitely a shot you have to have.
Played it to perfection as well.
That is Torsten Homan, 2-time world champion. He's the reason we're here, basically. This is his hometown, and he worked hard to bring the European Open here, and has continued to work hard to make it such a success.
That went awfully close to the corner.
So the early 1-for-1 trading of racks in this final, poised to continue. David Alcaide draws level for the second time at 2-all. There's so much talk about the Mosconi Cup over the weekend, with the captains being named, including you, Jeremy, once again. And Mosconi Cup was again on the agenda earlier today because Shane Van Boning's defeat means that Skylar Woodward claims the first automatic spot. Now, we know both those guys are going to be on the team anyway, but do you think Skylar will enjoy that and getting ahead of Shane, having been second fiddle to him for so long?
Well, he'll certainly enjoy it, and he'll certainly mess with Shane about it, and probably all the way up until December, to be fair. And that's a good thing, I think. I think both those guys knowing they're in form, right, having some results, that's just going to make Shane play better overall.
And it reflects how consistent Woodward has been this year. Although he didn't have a great week here, he's been doing so well at getting to the later stages of big and small events all throughout 23.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, he's been putting in a little more time in the right position, you know, places, and it's been paying off. All right, so we've had it all on the break side of things. A couple scratches, break and run, or break and almost run, should have been. Now a dry break.
I think he's going in behind this. Oh, that is just a delightful shot from Anton Raga. Look at that one. Kick and stick.
Tactical side of the game, it's always been important, even more so with the rule changes we've seen over the last year or so. Raga underlining there, he's very well equipped in that department.
Yeah, you kind of pick apart the game and, you know, figure who's better at this part or who's better at that part. David, one of the best tactical players there is, so I still give him a hair of an edge there, but in many other departments I may put Raga a hair ahead. I think the long shot maybe, and maybe breaking the balls a little bit.
Yeah, maybe better cue ball control as well. That was right on cue, David. It's a very difficult kick shot, don't get me wrong.
And please study.
Yeah, he was trying to create something, and a ball in hand really makes for a big opening because the 3 was pretty covered up. Now he can play the 1-6 combination to open the rack up.
"25 years of age, Raga, and he's no stranger to the later stages of decent-sized tournaments. To get to the final of the China Open back in 2019 in Shanghai, beaten by Wu Cha-Ching, and semi-finals of the All Japan Championship later that same year, again with a strong field. And I know, Carl, you were out in Singapore around about this time last year for the Asian Open, which has now grown for this year into a full matchroom event. And when it was played last year, again with lots of good players in it, he got to the quarters.
Even though the ball's wide open, nice on the 3, the 4 over the pocket, he still has a little work getting on this 5 here in a couple shots. But what I've seen from Raga is he just gets stronger as the match goes on.
Yeah, that's what he did against Joshua Filler. At one point, it looked like Filler was just going to blow him away. 6-2 up, missed an 8 ball. Unlike Filler.
Extension call.
That's what turned the match on its head. Raga grew stronger and stronger. Now, where's the cue ball going here? That's okay. Well, I say it's okay, it's found the rail. Got some more travelling to do now. He knows the game though, doesn't he? He knows what shots to play. what spin to use.
Yeah, they started at a young age. And this is going to be perfect unless it loses it in the side. Kind of straightened out off that end rail, so a little on the 50. You watch a lot of players in this big, you know, the big events, the World Nineball Tour, and it seems like they're stressing, right? A lot of shots, almost every shot at times. And I see some nerves with Raga, but I don't see stress, really. I really see kind of really enjoying the moment.
Yeah, it was like the 7 ball. It would be easy to fall into the trap of hitting that shot a lot harder. But he knew the 8 ball was over the pocket. He picked the pace to pot the 7 where he felt more comfortable.
Anton Raga.
So an efficient job done by Anton Raga. Played a wonderful tactical shot to force the chance. And for the 3rd time in this final, he goes 1 ahead. It's 3-2. So as we look back over some of the moments of the rack, this was the position Alcaide had been left in. Managed to make the hit. Flicked off the 7, ball in hand, and that was that. Raga had 1 or 2 challenges to overcome, but a simple 9 to finish it off. Not been more than a rack in it so far.
Thank you, it's rack 6. Anton Raga the break. Leading by 3 racks to 2.
There's the 1 ball. Well, unless he decides to get the jump cue, which he may be tempted. I believe that was the playing cue.
Yeah, when you bring the cue ball a little more inward on the box and the breaking end, it seems like you're going to have the cue ball below the rack a little more often than your opponent possibly. And tell you,
Push out called.
don't really see anywhere to move the 3 and make things more difficult along with the jump.
David, it's your choice, please.
Pretty smart play, making
Anton,
it a
let's
more
play again.
makeable jump shot, but position much more difficult. Easy to overcut this one, trying to really work the cue ball.
The extension, please.
Yeah, if he does make this shot, the green 6, the pink 4 may play a part in this shot. Well, we're going to see in a minute where the cue ball's finished. Behind the 6. Chance for David. Got a little bit of work to do on this opening shot though.
ideal, but I actually think he got to where he can naturally run the ball, pocketing the 4.
Extension called.
A little more missable, obviously. But one thing is he does have to have good speed control with the black 8 there near the purple 5.
Talked about his 2 World Masters wins. The fact that he's trying to win what we might term a full field matchroom event for the first time. He's done well in plenty of them though. He's been a World Championship semi-finalist just the year before last. UK Open semi-finalist in the summer of 22. Went out in the last 64 of this event last year, and that really started a run of struggling in these big matchroom individual events. Went out at the same stage of the US Open, last 64 of the Worlds this year, last 32 in both London and Lugo. This is where he belongs. Big matches against big players. And even in the year he turns 45, he's still hungry to add to what's already been a very good career.
Yeah.
Just a touch of anxiety apparent in the body language there, but nothing to be concerned about. This is a routine 9 to finish. And so the early narrative of this European Open final continues. 3 times Anton Raga has led. 3 times David Alcaide has drawn level. final of the last Matchroom Open event in Spain. Went all the way to the last rack before Dang Junhui saw off Mark Bijsterbosch. Long way from that yet, but the early signs are at least pointing in the direction of something similar here. Anton Raga has gone a rack ahead 3 times. David Alcaide has always been successful in drawing levels, so 3 each. First to 13 will be this year's European Open champion here in Fulda.
Ready when you are. Yep.
Despite Joshua Filler's defeat, there is still one German out there for this European Open final. Marcel Eckhart is our referee.
7th rack. David Alcaide to break, 3 racks each.
The break shot is not working at the moment for both players.
Yeah, and it seemed David was a little lighter on the speed than he's been for the most part. If you don't make the one on the side, if you're a little on the lighter side breaking the balls, you're not going to make the odd ball as often, that's for sure.
Alcaide's last 3 breaks, 1 scratched, the other 2 dry.
Hit before the side here, Carl, coming 2 cushions, and just take a thinner cut on the pink, knowing the purple's over the other side.
The extension, please.
Yeah, we've seen in his semi-finals, he's not scared of loading the cue ball up and letting it go like that. Yeah, but it's a big mistake.
Yeah, I know it caught the 9. I don't think it was ever enough speed to really get around anyways. First real glaring mistake from Raga.
Extension called.
Was 2 balls away from taking the lead in the opening rack until he missed the 8. Since then, it's been a matter of playing catch-up. Now he's got a chance to go in front for the first time in this final. Something of a Q Sports all-rounder, David Alcaide. He plays snooker to a high level as well, and he actually qualified for a world ranking event, the Gibraltar Open, back in 2019. Managed to take a frame off Dave Gilbert, who got to the semi-finals of the World Championship soon after that.
wasn't happy with that shot. He felt he potted the 7 a little bit too thick. I mean, he's still okay.
So Anton Raga had the chance to lead for the 4th time in this final. Missed a 3. David Alcaide has carved out the rack for himself to lead for the first time. It's 4-3 in favour of the man from Spain. But Joshua Fuller didn't quite make the final, but he was part of one absolute success this week. He and his wife Pia hosted the junior event, the Fuller's Junior Open. We're going to have the equivalent of that at the US Open next month, and Abigail is talking to the host of that.
Shane, a decent run to the semi-finals of the European Open Championship for yourself, but you're back here this evening to talk us through the SVB Junior Open that will be returning alongside the US Open. How excited are you for the return of that event?
Well, I mean, after last year, Khaled from Saudi Arabia won the event, and there was many talented pool players, young talented pool players as well, and I've been looking forward to see young talented pool players winning this year.
Yeah, how important can this event be for the growth of World Nineball?
I mean, Matchroom is doing a perfect job, just supporting pool, and I'm thankful to play all the events that they're doing, and to keep it going.
And entries are open from Thursday. How big a role do you feel you have in giving something back to the future generation of pool players?
Work hard, practice hard, and follow your dreams.
Is it quite rewarding though to spend time with these youngsters coming through?
You're young, talented, and need to experience with the professional pool, and they need to learn from the top pool players in the world, and and they can do it.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for talking to us.
Thank you.
Shane Van Boning's primary concern in Atlantic City next month will of course be to win the US Open for a record 6th time. He's been joint holder of the record since 2016. Back here in the final of the European Open, David Alcaide has made the 6 off the break and has a chance here.
Surprised he didn't draw that, Carl. I mean, kind of had to know the ball was going to kind of hug and hydraulic and not go very far. I thought he'd take a chance drawing up above the 2 for the cut.
Extension called.
This is very difficult. Maybe he was just trying to get on the rail for this combo. Because I'm with you, when you're used to playing out on the TV table, you get to learn about the rails and the cloth. He's unsure here, because this is very difficult. Yep, didn't play it. Is he going to leave a piece of the 2? He is, so mark it down as a bad safety.
Extension, please.
That was a neat little shot. Had to avoid the brown 7 coming back down table. Wasn't guaranteed where the cue ball was going to go. It was kind of one of them where you just make it and see what you're faced with. Can chop it in the side, can also play the bank. Now he's looking good. 2 good shots there.
There were 3 Philippines players who started out in the field of 256 when we got going here on Tuesday. The other 2, Johan Chua and James Aranis, had just won the World Cup together. So much was expected of them, but both made relatively early exits. And it's been left for the other member of the trio. He's got his support. I understand they've travelled from Norway to be here and support Raga. Philippines, such a stronghold of pool for such a long time now. A country where it ranks as probably one of the top 2 or 3 most high-profile sports. So many great players and great champions from there in the past. Even in recent years, we've seen the success of Carlo Beato. He's been world and US Open champion. And Anton Raga is battling here for the European Open title. He was the man doing the chasing there, but again we're level for the 4th time in this final. It's now 4-all. Let's see what's going on in terms of the prize money then. You can see how quickly it shoots up once you get to the weekend's play. Both of these guys guaranteed a minimum of $15,000, but you can double that by winning the title. The thing is, there was a time not so long ago when first prizes like that were quite rare in Nineball pool. Now they're becoming commonplace, and we're seeing much bigger ones as well. At the US Open next month and at the World Championship, it's double that, $60,000 to the winner. And of course, every dollar you win is 1 world ranking point. And if you're from either Europe or the States, 1 Mosconi Cup point. The incentives just growing and growing all the time in the game.
Thank you. The 9th break. 4 racks each. Anton Raga to break.
Might be the worst break of the tournament for Anton. Didn't hit that good at all. Look at the cue ball.
Yeah, and again, it's when you pull the cue ball inward on that box, you're going to play a little thinner hit. So I think your margin for error on something ugly is pretty slim. Yeah, and even though he didn't miss and he's not snookered, that's a bit of an unforced error getting thin on this blue 2. That's going to wreak havoc trying to get position on the red 3 and could bring Raga to the table in a rack that possibly he should have been in the chair.
Extension, please.
I think he may risk going up and down the table. Well, he's playing safe. Well, he looked at playing safe.
Boy, he can really weld him on the back of the pink if he hits this well. Yeah, speed's a little high, and I tell you, not getting him stuck to the pink. I think he takes the worst of it here, that being David. Yeah,
1 rail hit it fullish. There's a lot of balls there.
Yeah, just a little draw stroke. This is the kick and stick
The extension,
where you're
please.
kind of sliding off the rail, so it's not a high ball, it's more of a draw. You got too much of it.
And you see, flies into the pocket with ease. Still got to get past this hurdle of getting on the 3 ball. Flick the 9. Cue ball needs to stop. Now, if you can see the potting angle, that's 3 or 4 times in this match so far where the cue ball's just pulled up to pot the ball.
Yeah, and he could have just stunned between, I believe, the 9 and the pink and played the 3 in the middle, or the 9 and the purple and played the 3 in the middle, so a little fortunate there.
So far, it's clearly been a very close final. Well, that's what Alcaide's accustomed to in matchroom events. Both of his World Masters wins went all the way to the last rack against Jason Shaw and Alex Kazakis. That was the one where he came from 5-0 down to win. Been around such a long time. Won his first title at pro level all the way back in 2009. And even before that, he was already a Mosconi Cup player. When it means so much, any slight hesitation of the ball on the edge of the pocket just causes a brief moment of anxiety. We could see it from Alcaide again there. No problem at all. So easy going into a big final to say, oh, this one's too hard to call. I think it was fair comment in this case. That's been underlined. By the way, it's turning out never more than 1 in it. Either way, David Alcaide hits the front once more at 5 racks to 4. Raga of the Philippines.
Leading by 5-leg.
Spain's Alcaide gets us underway in the 10th.
Another dry break. It's not easy to keep putting the one ball in that side. Very small side pockets now. So if you're just slightly off or you put a bit too much spin on the cue ball, that's why we see the one ball hit the point quite a lot.
Yeah, and he was breaking quite consistently in the semi-final earlier today against Shane Van Boning.
That's a nice shot. I really like that shot.
Well, does that tell you anything about how settled he is? I mean, most players wouldn't take that shot on, especially. There were some other safeties that he could have played. Much easier execution. Maybe not as good a hook.
You talk about being settled. It's
Extension call.
such a cliche, isn't it? We always say play the balls, not the opponent, not the situation or what's at stake. But he seems to be so good at doing it. Had the whole crowd against him, apart from those few supporters in the front row earlier today against Filler. Not a problem for him.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, this crowd, of course, they're pro Filler, but they appreciate great pool and they don't make you feel out of place. That's for sure. Exceptional here in Fulda.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've taken him to their hearts this week anyway, as it is. What a great story he's brought to this European Open.
Yeah, we're yet to see it yet because he's not managed to string a few racks together, but we're definitely seeing it against Filler. Dang Zhonghui was doing it in Spain. He was getting the crowd on side.
Yeah, that's right. He was raising his arms and whipping them up. What an incredible atmosphere we had in Lugo. And this is just as great in its own way. The tension created by the silence of a large crowd.
Both balls was trying to go in the pocket. In the end, this is set up for Anton. Just got to work the cue ball. He could draw right back in the straightest line, play the blue two in the left centre. Looks like that is his only shot. Even plays it with a bit of spin. Watch the cue ball. After potting the blue 2 and the red 3, the rack kind of opens up a little bit. And where the purple 5 is, he can get nicely on the green 6 and roll through for the brown 7 in left centre. But it may even pass the 8 ball anyway, so this is a good chance.
All sports throw up unexpected winners, big outsiders coming through to take titles, but it tends to be someone who's been around a while and hasn't really been close to winning anything. Occasionally, though, sport throws up an example of someone winning a big title who's got almost no experience of playing at the level and in the environment of that event. Think of Emma Raducanu winning the US Open tennis a couple of years ago. Ben Curtis in the Open Golf Championship 20 years ago this summer. Anton Raga would certainly fall into that category if he could finish this amazing story by lifting the trophy tonight.
Yeah, and he fell a little awkward. Kind of surprised me the way he played for the pink here. It's not a tough shot, but is the cue ball going anywhere in a nice place? The 5 doesn't pass the 9 in the side, so maybe it does. Could have swore it didn't, but maybe it's a combo.
Yeah, I'd be amazed if the 5 goes past the 9. I think he's playing the combo. Braver man than me.
He knew it was brave, didn't he? We could see him taking a moment there to compose himself, trying to keep the nerves at bay. He knew what a big shot that was. So yeah. Last year.
5 racks each.
Imagine what it would be like if we were in one of the bigger German cities, but no reason to leave here. This has been such a success. Emily Fraser, Managing Director of Matchroom Multisport, sitting alongside the mayor. Where's this cue ball finishing?
Foul stroke, ball in
Yet
hand.
again, scratching off the break.
Yeah, that was pretty unlucky. Got an initial kiss and then a little
Please stop the shot
shave.
clock.
The pink hit it, and then the 6 just brushed it towards the corner.
Yeah, it's horrible when that happens. There's just nothing you can do. You just don't know when it's going to come. You don't know what time of a match it's going to happen. And I don't think there's a way to fix it either.
No, it's just a variable, and it's going to happen to everyone. And really, David doesn't need to stress too much here. These balls are sitting nice. Ball in hand, easy to get on the 3, the pink near. See the 5, 6, 7, 8 on the top end, so should regain that lead.
Extension, please.
Does the 4 pass here? Did he end up that far short drawing the cue ball? Guess the 4 passes. No.
Oh, he's gone for the combination, and he's got it. So, with the 4-9, it goes 6-5.
That was not easy. It really wasn't.
It was almost like he felt the gauntlet had been laid down by the tough combination Raga took on to win the previous rack.
Yeah, but mentally that could have been a very bad one for David if he didn't make that combo, because he certainly didn't want to play the combination when he got ball in hand off of Raga's scratch. So good for David that one went down. He can stay positive.
Okay, now from Alcaide's last 5
Track
breaks,
12, David Alcaide
scratched
break.
off 1. 3 of the others
Leading
were
by
dry.
6 racks to 5.
This would be nice time, as he looks to go 2 clear, to change his fortunes in that regard.
Yeah, if you remember last year's final, Albin versus SVB, that final was all about the break as well, because both players were struggling to make balls, if you remember. It was the first tournament this break rule was brought in.
Yeah, and that really highlighted it, because certainly from Van Boning's point of view earlier in the year, he'd been breaking as well as anyone had ever done. It was the bedrock of his World Championship triumph.
Yeah, this is actually quite thin, this pot. Big favourite to make the pot, but he's got to get on the red 3 ball. He may even end up canning another ball here and get a little lucky to land on the 3. No, he's found the gap okay. Cheated the pocket as well.
No break and run yet in this final. Alcaide looked like he was going to do it in the first rack, but missed the 8.
Wondering if he's just landed on that line where if he draws it, he draws towards the 6. If he has, he might play a bit of a stun draw, or he might force it hard off the rail. Yeah, he's forced it hard. That's going to end up okay. He'll be drawing the cue ball now.
Extension, please.
He won't have a lot to work with here. Another cue ball is off the rail, but where the 8 ball is situated, he won't have much angle. Yeah, there. Stun draw. It's a little shy of pace.
And I think he's got a hair of a worry of a scratch. One rail in the corner, the upper left. Should get to the end rail, I think.
Other than the first rack, where Alcaide missed the 8 ball, didn't really cause too much damage. How big of a mistake is this going to be?
Unusual to get this far into a match, and nobody be more than 1 rack clear at any stage. Even Alcaide was closing in on doing just that. But instead, Anton Raga has ensured that we're level for the 6th time in the match. It's 6-all in the European Open final.
Quite simply, what a final. Nothing to choose between them.
Thank you, the 13th
Although,
rack.
there is a slight advantage. You see, Anton Raga,
Raga to break.
after snatching
Six
that
racks
previous rack, gets to break in the 13th.
Not been breaking good yet. Is it about to change at the most important part of this final? Well, it is. That's the difference. When you hit the one ball a lot squarer and you get the cue ball parallel off the side rail back towards the 9 and you pocket the 1, this is what can happen.
Yeah, and it certainly wasn't light, but I think just a little more accurate hit is what it seemed like to me. And a great chance.
From what I've seen so far, Carl and Jeremy, I'm sure you'll have either concurring opinions or completely disagree, but from what I've seen so far, I think it is fine margins, but Raga has been the better player.
Yeah, I think when you look at not just the two mistakes that have come from David, it's certain shots, you know, positional shots. The cue ball's been pulling up just in time. Some of the pots have not been going in clean. I'm not saying it's been a disastrous performance, far from it. But the previous rack where he didn't get on the 9 correctly may finally cost him, because this could well be a break and run.
Yeah, he caught it a little thick to the hole. Seemed like not as much spin, and he's going to have to make a nice one here and really gather some nice position as well.
Yeah, and you might be thinking, well, this is a little more harder because he's got the extension on.
The extension, please.
He's been playing for years, you know, he's not that tall, but he'll be used to using the extension.
He began playing at the age of 8. I spoke to him this afternoon. I said, when did you realise you were going to be a good player? He said, when I was 12, I knew I was talented, and that's when I put the work in. And he's had thousands and thousands of racks since then. Countless numbers. He's probably spent a ridiculous amount of hours on the table.
Yeah, I'm sure he's watched many Efren Reyes videos. He's the man that everybody in the Philippines seems to be their idol.
Anton Raga wins
The Dragon back in front. Anton Raga leads 7-6. We're just past the halfway mark in this final. Are we going the distance? I know for certain because I saw them coming in. Johan Chur and James Arenas, the winning Filipino World Cup team, are here to support their fellow countrymen. Anton told me he watched those two win the World Cup, and it made him believe even more that he could be a champion. Around a month later, here we are. He also told me about that remarkable match against Ko
14th
Pin
rank.
Yi.
Anton Raga to
When he
break.
won 10-0, he was 2-0 up.
Leading by 7 racks to 6.
Ko Pin Yi scratched on a jump on the 6, and Raga tidied up, then won the next 7 racks off the break. Nice work when you can get it.
Watch out, 8 ball.
Yeah, I think important racks right now for David after missing that 9 to take a 2-game lead and what looks like Raga figuring out the one in the side a little bit more towards the end of this match. Touchy shot here coming on the 7 with the cue ball. Killing. Yeah, speed required.
He's got all the shots though. As the young Filipino.
Had a chat with Francisco Sanchez Ruiz this afternoon about Raga, and he said never played him in a tournament, but they played an exhibition in the Philippines. Raga beat him 90-87, and he said when it comes to kicking, he is on a different planet. His tactical awareness right up there.
I was talking to Fedor Gorst at one of the events, and he was telling me about a Filipino player that he played over there. I forgot the name, but so I'm only saying this because you might know the name, but he seemed to think he was the best player in the Philippines. Do you know who I'm talking about, JJ? No?
I think he mentioned the name to me, and it leaves me at the moment. But, you know, when I heard Raga's name, not the first time, but wasn't long after the first time I heard about him, many considered him the best player in the Philippines.
Let's put it this way. Those who know him and who've seen him play a lot speak about him in very glowing terms.
Well, I actually played Raga in a tournament in the Philippines. How about that one? That was a few years ago. It was in a tournament that Manny Pacquiao was the promoter.
Yeah, I don't know if he still does, but he used to put it on an event pretty much every year.
Yeah, it was in his home city.
Yeah, he's a big player himself, and he can hold his own, that Manny Pacquiao.
And if he couldn't, you wouldn't tell him.
Yeah, true.
That's right.
Quite funny, JJ, when I played Raga, we was having a right ding-dong. There was some proper needle in the match. It was funny. I loved it.
You and Needle? Never.
Yeah, well, the Filipino players, and of course the English, they love to needle you, so y'all fit right in.
It's funny because in one of the racks it was quite tight early on in the match, and he was dead straight on the 9-ball. And I've never seen anybody hit a ball so hard into the pocket. You know, just a dead straight 9, easy. He thumped it in with loads of spin. The cue ball just stopped, and it was spinning for ages. And while I was racking the balls, I thought, that ball's still spinning. This must be a world record. I just left it until it stopped.
Yeah, well, showing off to you, Carl. Maybe he grew up with you as his favorite player as well.
You left out one vital snippet of information. Who won?
I did win the match, believe it or not. Now I'm sat commentating on him, and he's looking good to win a big major. We're all good now, though. It's all fun and games in the heat of battle.
If you're relatively new to pool, Carl Boyd's had a phenomenal rivalry with, well, pretty much everyone in the US team in the Mosconi Cup, but especially Earl Strickland.
All right, he's got to commit here. Does he come above? Does he go into the 8? Probably just comes above it. Oh, he went between, so he's going to get a little thin here. And I thought that was kind of his last option, really, spinning the ball like that.
Yeah, I think he may have tried to be bumping into the 8. This is thin. Can he just hold this, or?
Yeah, well, here you got to understand you can run a long ways to the middle of the table. Don't try to hold it too much.
Excellent. Potting that 7-ball into the thick side of the pocket helped the process of holding the white. This afternoon against Joshua Fulda, it was a missed 8-ball by the German that turned things around. Right now, you have to suspect Turning the final round, the missed 9-ball from David Alcaide in rack 12. Anton Raga in front by 2 at 8-6, only 5 more needed. What an absolutely terrific atmosphere in here. $30,000 on the line as a first prize. For Alcaide, another major title. For Anton Raga, despite his prowess in big money matches in terms of tournament pool, this would be a major breakthrough.
Yeah, as the tour grows, it's important we have players from the Philippines competing on the World Tour and winning events, because they're a special country in the world of
The
9-ball.
15th rack. Anton Raga to break, leading by 8 racks to 6.
And the fact that Raga, Arana, Stewart, they're all still very young, so it's the new breed of players from over there. Sure, his eyes were wandering towards the cue ball then.
Tell you what, we're going to get to see something special and attempt at something special. Which in my eyes is the most fun part of watching all these players. The great shots are the great players trying to make great shots. And I don't think he's going to back down here, Carl.
No, if he runs forward, is he going to go towards the 8-ball? Is it just a case of pot the ball? Or try and pot the ball, it's not an easy shot. Or is it going to skim off the left of it?
Yeah, with the 3 so open, though, I mean, as long as you're avoiding a scratch.
The extension, please.
Here you kind of commit to how you like making the ball. About medium speed, I think. Oh, he's elevating. So this is going to get smacked a little.
And he's going to leave it.
From what I've seen, lads, and this is a small sample size, i.e. just this week, but from what I've seen, if he does have a weakness, he's not the most explosive potter from distance. Not saying he's bad, but the other parts of his game outweigh his skills in that department.
Yeah, the big issue with the way Raga played it as well is if the 2-ball doesn't go in the centre of the pocket, it just ain't going to go in. So if you kind of roll it a bit more babyish, you can afford to be a little less accurate on your pot.
Yeah, and I think if he just, you know, he pulls the trigger pretty quickly a lot of times when he's down on the ball. So David a little awkward on the 4, has angle, but how much pocket does he have to shoot towards? And again, the real work left is the 5 to the 6. And again, the cue ball not on a string. We're used to seeing a little better rock from David Alcaide, and now he's really got to work the white ball with some traffic.
Extension called.
And not a ton of angle. Can he draw this between the 7-8, Carl?
I believe so, yeah.
kept it simple, played with lots and lots of check side. That meant just one cushion was involved, and he was bound to go up in the general direction of the 7.
David Alcaide.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's back within 1. We've got yet another epic final in a World Nineball Tour event. Just when we thought there was a suspicion that Anton Raga might be getting on top with a couple of break-in run-outs, David Alcaide steps in after Raga misses the 2 from distance in rack 15. Can Alcaide tie everything up again? That works.
Yeah, an ideal strike and on the 1, and I'll tell you the big reward here. And you hadn't said it all week, Phil, or at least I haven't heard it, but this is this one sets up as well as I've seen.
I did mention the words roadmap in commentary with Carl. I think it was on Thursday. I've rationed myself to 1 all week, but this is the second, definitely.
Yeah, you'd pay big money for a split like this. Little stretchy on the first shot. Doesn't have to go crazy with the cue ball though.
You're right about him stretching though. Didn't compromise the pot, of course, but it can affect the timing.
Yeah, another positional shot where things could have gone wrong.
Yeah, considering catching that much of the 9 and the cue ball staying
The
in
extension, please.
a relatively safe position. Didn't get over on the rail, over the 6. He's got to commit here. It's going to be a little on the lighter side or coming across, one of the two. Sits a little in between to hold the ball. David likes to use that drag stroke a lot, him and FSR both. And could have worked the rock a couple rails, but it could also just kind of, like I said, drag this ball with a little right spin. And he came across. There's another one of those. Just got there, Carl. An inch shorter, that's a funny shot.
Yeah, especially if you look at how close the cue ball is to the 7.
Yeah, the fortune he's receiving isn't outrageous. It's not exactly obvious either. It's just nuanced and subtle. But it makes a difference.
David Alcaide
For the 7th time this evening in this wonderful final, they are level. It is 8-8. Now, what started out as a race to 13 has been whittled down to a race to 5. We're back to square one. Cole, we just keep getting these wonderful finals, don't we, in these open tournaments. Of course, last year here, 12 months ago, it was Albin Auschen beating Shane van Boening 13-11. I think this one might be even closer.
Yeah, you're never quite sure. If you look at the World Pool Masters final, it was a runaway. Alpine picking up that title. But we've had a lot of close matches this week, haven't we? All 4 quarterfinals delivered.
The 17th rack, David Alcaide to break.
And Jeremy,
We all
what
squared
a
8
result
breaks
it would
each.
be for Alcaide. His career seemed to be in decline. Not anymore.
Yeah, he keeps fighting, and we'll see what's going to happen with this one ball. It is near the cue ball, but man, David's not giving up. You see Niels Van, right, still trying to get that big win. Another big win. Ralph Souquet, a few others. David Alcaide's here to stay for still a little while.
Yeah, 44 years of age, so he would be the oldest winner of one of our open events.
And the seed of all this, well, it was planted up in Rutherglen, Scotland at McGoldrick's when he won the Jacoby Open recently. A smaller ranking event. He beat Phil Burford in the final, a thrilling final to boot. And in that call, you told me, he had some outrageous fortune at exactly the right time.
Yeah, it was Hill. He missed a straight 8-ball and fluked it in another pocket. Good safety. Very good safety. Touched the cue ball off the rail. Very nice. Raga's in a world of trouble here.
Yeah, difficult routes. I don't know if he can get by the 6 and the 3 to get to the bottom cushion here. Big trouble hitting this ball otherwise.
The extension, please.
He's tying a ball up. He's not even kicking at it. Moving the 6 on the 8,
Foul
maybe.
stroke. Illegal contact.
Pretty smart.
Ball in net.
Yeah, couldn't see a path.
And please start the shot.
Couldn't guarantee hitting the ball, which if he'd have missed it, David will have had ball in hand with all the balls in the open. The fact he's still got ball in hand, but he's got a bit of work to do. That's the reason why we do see the deliberate fouls.
I'll tell you what David could do. He could shoot the 1 in the lower right and brush the 7 as he came into play for the 3 and have the 4-9 laying. Just a little high ball.
Yeah, that's what he's looked at. That's why he's put the cue ball there. Which tells you Raga didn't spot that.
Yeah, he's got to kind of force follow it a little bit to move the 7 enough, I believe, anyways. Maybe that's not the plan, but it sure looks like it.
So with the 7-ball out of the way, chance for a combination, take the lead. That's how straight it is. This is set up absolute wonderful.
History repeats itself. David Alcaide won the 11th rack with a 4-9 combo, and now he does exactly the same thing in the 17th. That's 3 in succession from 8-6 down. He moves 9-8 in front. What a night this is for David Alcaide. Currently, he's 7th in the automatic standings for the Mosconi Cup. If he were to win this evening, well then, he's only headed by his best pal, Francisco Sanchez Ruiz. Alcaide's got bags of experience in the Mosconi Cup, and US Mosconi Cup captain Jeremy Jones. He's one of those players who, in that event, is a terrier.
Yeah, and just like last year at the Mosconi, he struggled, but it seemed like, you know, the light turned on at the right moment. He won 2 of the biggest points, I think, for Europe to take that title down.
Decade of the break, leading by 9 racks to 8.
Looking to reach double digits.
Well, his last 2 breaks have worked out very nice. Is it Alcaide's night? Is it just meant to be?
He's had some terrific wins here. Maybe the writing was on the wall in his very first match. He beat Hector Iglesias 9-0. It was really quick, it was really comprehensive. and he's never looked back. In the last 32, he overwhelmed Japan's Naoki Oi 10-1. He's found his form. He's rediscovered the old David Alcaide. And you can't have a tougher route into the final, because in quarters and semi-finals he beat the top two players in the World Nineball Tour rankings.
Extension, please.
Doesn't have a great deal of angle to work with. He's got to get from the green 6 to the brown 7, so you feel like he's got to get the cue ball over to the left side. That's why he's hit it so hard. And this is absolutely perfect.
Suddenly, when things are looking a little grim, he's clicked into gear. It was a road map, a run out to draw level, a 4-9 combination to hit the front. And now another break and run out to increase his lead. David Alcaide is just 3 racks away from being crowned champion. The second edition of the European Open at the Esperanto Hotel and Conference Centre has been better than the first, and that was a cracking week 12 months ago. The only question unanswered: who will be succeeding Albin Auschen with his name on the trophy? Right now, David Alcaide is in the driver's seat. But we've seen all week, Jeremy, players get into positions of strength and then crumble.
Yeah, absolutely. David knows he's got to shut the door on this incredibly talented youngster. He is 25, believe it or not, Anton Raga. But yeah, he's just got to lean on this break again. He's really come with it the last 30 minutes or so. Yeah, and he's going to get it again.
Suddenly, the break is working a treat. It's like discovering the lottery numbers 10 minutes before the draw.
Well, it's no accident. FSR said it, you know, that he worked on that break a lot, and it's starting to look like FSR's break from the last couple years, or year and a half maybe. But I tell you, I'd keep it real simple on this 2-ball here. I just roll it in, get to that little gap, and then work the cue ball from the 3 to the 4.
Quite often, Carl, in pool, if you can have a break and run out, the most complex shot is the first one. I think if he gets this right, they are sitting pretty.
Yeah, just played a little drag shot. Wasn't that difficult. May play another one now as well. Just slows the cue ball down. Means you can hit the cue ball with a little bit more authority. And then when the cue ball gets towards the object ball, it slows right down. That's gone wrong.
Yeah, and it seems like it was a last-second decision to go up table with the cue ball and back down. Looked like he was contemplating just pinching it out a little bit, maybe rolling it for the pink in the lower left. Looked at this a couple times, how much pocket is there going by the 9, and a great look.
Aranas and Chua watching on. Johan Chua in the white coat. Aranas chewing gum. Not liking what they're seeing here.
Yeah, there's a big old bang there out on the backswing. That can make you jump a little. So he's going to wipe the cue back down. That went in very thick, but it's okay. It's got the right angle.
Nineball wise, his first big success came a decade ago when he was crowned European champion. Twice he's been Whirlpool Masters champion. He's been on winning Mosconi Cup teams. And of course, together with Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, he's tasted glory at the World Cup of Pool last year. But in many respects, considering how his career was going, this could be the most sweet victory of all.
He's
He's not there yet, but I tell you what, he's well on course. 3 clear now. Breaking and running in 3 of the last 4 racks. And winning 5 in succession after trailing 8-6. What a time to find a gear.
He's timed this to perfection. The brakes helped as well. He's not had much work to do. You've still got to knock him in. But the timing couldn't have been better because he started the match off not braking too clever. But he's found the sweet spot. He's got a nice little lead towards the end of this final.
Thank you, it's rack 20. David Alcaide the break, leading the match by 11 racks to 8.
Another point worth making, even if Raga gets back to the table, he's been kept cold now for quite some time.
And eerily, the 2 ball ends up in the same place every time. That tells me it's getting racked in the same place, maybe, just by chance.
You think you can switch it off, please?
He was going to have position there again if he didn't get a nasty kiss on the cue ball.
Push out cold. Anton, it's your choice, please.
Well, there's no doubt he has to take this and try and play a nice safety. Put the 2 underneath the 4-5 maybe and bring the cue ball up behind the 3 and the 6.
Well, we can all see what the issue looks like it's going to be in this rack. It's the purple and the pink. That's why David tied them up. I think he can just squeeze by the 9. I know he's queuing down. Play it with a bit of spin as well. Watch the cue ball. Well, this is all working out to plan for Alcaide. He's getting road maps off the break. And he's getting the form when he needs it. Raga's got to stay patient and hope it changes.
Patient, yes, but time could be running out. Further confirmation of what FSR was telling me this afternoon, that when it comes to kicking, he's dynamite.
Can he play the 2 underneath the group of balls on the upper right and come kind of aggressively at the 4-5? Try and open those a little bit as well. And he didn't get the 2 all the way down. I thought he would cut it more, but I do like the shot.
8-6 up, Anton Raga. His problems began when he took on a 2 from distance to this very same pocket.
Yeah, I believe he'll have learnt a lot from the previous one though. Just got to roll this forward. Not guaranteed a shot on the 3, but you've got to pop the ball. decided not to play it. Cue ball's coming round. Oh, he's flicked the 9. David may have to take a bit of a punt here. Don't believe he can hold the cue ball for the 3.
Would you come 2 rails into the 3-6 here with low right? I mean, it's playable. David's good at this shot as well. Decided to play the safety and leave a little bit of a look.
Goes without saying this is a massive rack. 12-8 race to 13. Or 11-9 with Raga breaking.
The extension, please.
We always focus on the spectacular, but it's these hard yards racks, the one where tactical awareness and heart make all the difference, that have such an impact on the concluding scoreline.
Yeah, that's the pot he's faced with. Potting the ball's no issue really, even though there's a bit of distance. He's getting right on the red 3 to get back down table for the pink 4. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll be delighted where that's landed.
Very little wiggle room now for Anton Raga. Mistakes just simply won't do.
Showed a lot of character here. It was all about that blue 2 to get on the 3 ball. He knows how important this rack is. Got to keep Alcaide off 12. Try and close the gap.
Yeah, it's showing a lot of heart here and just wants to get back to that breaking end.
Wouldn't miss this in a month of Sundays. The rod is stopped. The Filipino flag flying again. Anton Raga breathes new life into his title challenge. Nevertheless, it's David Alcaide still in front by 11 racks to 9. A Occasionally, even at the highest level, you see a blowout final where someone wins very convincingly indeed. But over the last few tournaments, they've all been very intriguing. And I just get the sense Raga isn't finished. He's come through some tight ones here. Very first match against Ivan Coelho of Portugal, he won 9-7. 10-8 over Matthias Snigodski. 10-7 over Wojciech Shevchik. And 11-9 this afternoon against Joshua Filler from 6-2 down. He's a fighter.
Anton Raga at the break, trailing by 11 racks to 9.
Lost the cue ball. Very thin, nearly scratched. I don't know if he can go rail first and pop the 2. It's hard to see how much the cue ball's behind the 8.
I definitely think he can, but it's a difficult shot. Maybe a hair swerve required. Definitely a lot of spin required, and he's going to have a long one on the 3.
Well, that's a great shot, JJ, and I think he's been unfortunate there.
Yeah, absolutely, to get dead over the purple 5, and this will test the technique.
The extension, please.
This is what being a pool player is about. Doesn't always go your way in a match. You just got to keep fighting, keep going. Is it there? It is there. Good shot. Showing a lot of heart here. His opponent Alcaide has had 2 or 3 roadmaps off the break to get his lead. Raga is having to come with some shots to stay in the match.
Man, he's gotten through 2 tough ones, but this one, even though making the pink not that hard, the speed control pretty important, coming most likely 1 rail between the 8 and 9. May come 2. Use both of the short cushions. It's got to go a little bit, hit a little thick to the pocket. Now he's got to make a big decision.
Raga's turn to employ the drag shot. They're living every single shot. Nails are being bitten.
Well, what a rack this has been. Kicked the 1 ball in. Then he was jacked up, slow rolled the 3 in.
What a terrific run out at that particular juncture. It is 11-10. Anton Raga has new life in this European Open final. The pool has been fantastic in Fulda, and we're not finished yet. The destination of the trophy we've just seen up in the air.
22nd rack. Anton Raga the break. Trailing by 11 racks to 10.
He needs the 2-ball to be awkward because it's a dry break. Alcaide will come to the table. What is he faced with?
Yeah, a lot of congestion on the bottom. Not really troublesome congestion, but he's a little thin on the 1. But you got to figure he's going to pocket the 1 and then just knock the blue 2 down table. You know, using the purple 5 as a big blocker and really have a huge zone for the cue ball here on the 2. Interesting looking. Oh, he's going to curve it 1 rail. Okay, with some spin. Makes a little more sense. I thought he was looking at 2 rails.
FSR smiling, but feeling tense vicariously for his pal.
Yeah, well, it was his pal who knocked him out of the tournament. Hill.
The extension, please.
Nice shot, and I'll tell you what else he did. He bumped the pink 4 out a little bit right there, and now it's open and playable. Boy, I like the slow kick
Extension
right
call.
here. If I'm coming off the back rail, I just feel like a lot of good things can happen.
He has to get a lot of spin on the ball.
That was not a good thing. It could be a very costly thing. So thoroughly disappointed to go out in the first round of the World Cup and the World Masters. Beaten in the last 64 of the World Championship. Only survived to the last 32 of his own tournament, if you like, the Spanish Open. Now, though, fortunes radically upgraded. He's on the cusp of what would be a career-regenerating victory. Until then, the movement was discernible.
He has that in the locker, though. As good as David Alcaide is, fantastic safety player, he can do this out of nowhere. just throws a weird missed potting.
Yeah, he was obviously sizing up a 4-9 to get on the hill, and 4 does go.
Yeah, I thought I could have killed it, JJ. Just hold the ball.
I think he could have, but you know, you can't argue the 4-9 if he likes it. But the one thing David does, which is a little different than a lot of, you know, your pro players, is when he gets down on the ball, he'll make little vertical, you know, kind of not vertical, but horizontal movements with his body, kind of getting in line and kind of re-aiming, which is not something you'll see from many of the top players. And he does do it all the time. Boy, we just didn't expect that, and he's falling straight here. So looked at the bank for a moment, but I gotta believe he's going to screw the cue ball back here.
Yeah, I'm with you. Anywhere near where it is now, even if it's a little more to the left, just leave yourself a cut on the 6th ball.
He's playing the bank. A little surprising. Just, I mean, he just pockets the ball so well and moves the cue ball so easily. I thought draw back just a little past the 7 and take the cut. But
yeah, I'm amazed. He's played for the bank. How big is this bank? The Dragon! He's on fire! Careful at the speed you play this ball. Doesn't matter when it finds the heart of the pocket. He's done well in this rack. Fell out of line a little bit. Decided to play the bank. It was his choice. Made the bank. And it looks like he's going to punish Alcaide, who missed the 3 ball from nowhere.
A shade of doubt about this one, though. Cue ball close to that side cushion. Not quite a gimme, this.
now Raga, though, he seems to put a little more speed on these, a little more authority.
Anton Raga.
Took the timeout earlier in mid-match. He came back and the break was like on point.
Yeah, and he's had to sit and watch Alcaide put a 2 or 3 pack together with road maps. This is what you've got to do. You've got to come with the shots. You've got to try and get back yourself back in the match, because who's to say he doesn't break next and get one of these lovely road maps. I think he's actually left the arena. Yeah, he has. So Alcaide's still there waiting, thinking about how I missed the 3 ball.
I think this is a very clever move on Raga's part. It's allowing Alcaide to sit there stewing, constantly replaying the 3 ball.
Well, I mean, it's almost 100% the mind's churning, because he would normally always leave to the restroom when his opponent leaves, or when he needs to leave himself. So Maybe stewing a bit.
Yeah, he's on his way back.
This year, players from nowhere have come into these finals. Mohamed Soufi from Syria, runner-up in the World Nineball Championship. Dang Junhu of China won the Spanish Open, unfancied before the start of the week. And now, Anton Raga could pull another rabbit out of the hat.
Starting the race to 13.
Rack. Anton Raga to break. 11 racks each.
And it kind of went to a little Mosconi Cup race. It was a race to 5 at one point. Now it's a race to 2 for the title.
Yeah, the location of the 2 ball. Oh, it's down. A little pep in his step. Of course, the 3's ugly, but he does have a shot.
Willing the balls in. I like that. Don't apologise.
Little hop, skip and a jump.
Yeah, and you wonder, trying to think really what the play is. I'd like to get over on this right side rail, but I don't know. Coming around, very dangerous. I may shoot the 1 and shoot the 2 and draw up the side rail and make a decision on the 3-8 combo here, Carl. You know what I mean? Like, and if I don't like it, I play safe.
He's actually come to look if it's worth sliding right down past the 3 ball.
Well, that's okay too, though. As long as I wouldn't entertain the left side of the table is what I was getting at. You know what I mean? Just come down the right rail. You feel like you can come between the brown 7 and the red 3 for the cut shot. That's fine. You're going to be close to your work. You need to play a safety.
Needs to miss the 3, the flick. That little flick has changed everything.
Yeah, we'll see if it changes everything. You never know. They cut this down the rail. Doubt it.
Well, surely he's not going to cut this down the rail.
Well, he's not afraid.
Could he draw down towards the 8? Well, he's playing the cut, I think.
No, he's going behind the 7, pretty simply. Oh, that's got to go a little bit.
That's got to go.
Yeah, you don't want to leave an edge or a jump.
So often on that kind of touchy shot at this stage of a massive match, players do tend to be a little tentative.
Yeah, another roll. This shot wasn't on, so Raga will be sat there slightly worried. That's the shot he's faced with. It's not the most difficult of jump shots.
No, and he shot it kind of quick with the clock running, and he had an extension. But the ball's open. I may have taken it right there.
Boy, that was close. I think it's going to set up for Raga. I believe he's on this ball. He is.
And he's awfully straight on it, though. I'll tell you. It's got a little angle, but, you know, this table's not so conducive of going forward with the inside spin, trying to punch it, right?
Yeah, the likes of Jason Shaw, Albin Ocean, Joshua Phil have played in many Mosconi Cups. They know how these tables play under the bright lights. So you don't get silly here. Just get it off 2 rails. Just like that. That is more than good enough. Got a lot out of that as well.
With little effort.
Think about it. Just a few racks ago where when he broke off, he was hooked on the 2. He kicked the 2 in. He was jacked up on the 3. Then he's banked the 6. He's had to come with all sorts of stuff in this final.
Yeah, can he cheat this, Carl, I guess? Easily go past the side for the 7 in the opposite middle.
What must he be thinking? Things are looking a little bleak 20 minutes ago. Well, they're not looking bleak now. He's 2 balls from being the first player on the hill with the break.
He is a money match monster, we know that. But he told me this afternoon, tournament pool is where it's at. That's his priority now, his word.
Anton Raga.
He's 1 rack away from a truly astounding glory, victory, triumph, breakthrough, call it what you will. Anton Raga. Not many people here, apart from the pool aficionados, had really heard a lot about this man until this week. Boy, has he announced his arrival, regardless of what happens from here on in. It is a fantastic crowd, and I'll tell you what, Anton Raga has responded. All of the players have. The atmosphere has been respectful. It's been joyful. A festival of pool in Fulda. And I'll tell you what, it's not just this weekend. We had a big crowd from the very first match on Tuesday morning. Rafael Val took on Copenhagen. It was over on table 14. They were 5 deep.
Cue ball was running a little close, but here's your chance for the title. 1 good shot, JJ, required.
Yeah, and it's going to have to be a doozy, and I think you're right. The cue ball was definitely gone in that middle. Look at the line it's on, yeah. So the black 8 saving the day for Anton Raga. Now he's got to, again, make 1 shot. And the black 8's kind of in the way of drawing over and across.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's very nasty. He's got to really get into the cue ball here.
You avoid forward here with the cue ball, I believe, anyways, unless he sees a path that maybe we don't see. Is he going around the 6?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Nice. Yeah, maybe. He's playing the safety. Did not like the... Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Well, he forgot about the 2 ball at this stage of the match. Try and protect your object ball. I know he's trying to get tight in behind the 6, but it's 12-11. Be careful.
Yeah, and
The extension,
I
please.
almost feel like it was with David earlier, a last-second decision to do that.
You know, he's on the hill. Surely you take a swipe at the 2 ball.
Yeah, David's got to come with some distance here. Good thing the pink is near.
Yeah, don't decelerate here. Kind of decelerated there.
Yeah, we call that in the pool room, kind of squeezed it home. A little clinchy on the cue stick there. And he's happy to see that ball fall, and he's a little off angle here, so another one he's got to pay attention to. Very missable.
Yeah, we'll just slide past the left side, play the purple 5 in the other corner.
Nice confident stroke there.
Will he stay still on the shots? Will he have the nerve to tie it up yet again?
Interesting shot selection from Raga on that blue 2. For me, SVB, Joshua Fuller. I believe they shoot that ball.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And again, to me, the big mistake, I could be dead wrong here. I kind of, just like I said earlier, felt like it was a last-second decision.
Yeah, you've got to manage the clock. You've got to manage your extensions. But the good news for pool fans is we're just 3 balls away from a final rack shootout.
The way things have gone this week, it simply had to be. Three of the 4 quarterfinals went the distance, and now so too is the final. It's a 25th and final rack for all of the marbles. What a final in Fulda.
Johan Chua trying to pass on some wise words.
Of course, this time it's Alcaide with the advantage because he's breaking. How he would love one of those road maps, Jeremy.
I was going to say, it seems like a big advantage the way he's broke the balls the second half of the match. And good gesture from both these guys. They're both champions.
What a final we've been treated to. A show of respect.
David Alcaide at the break.
Nineball was moving. Nineball, is it in play?
No, I don't think it's in play.
Always worries me, that JJ. This golden break at Hill Hill.
Well, it's going to happen one day, just not today.
Yeah, it's not something I want to see. We want to see drama, don't we?
2019 in Gibraltar, the 9-ball was just about there when he banked it the length of the table to beat Alexander Gazakis in a Hill finish in the World Masters.
Yeah, it was one that was on the socials all over for about a year's time, it seemed.
Just wondering if he's going to bank this ball back up towards the pink.
Try and come 2 rails on the 8, maybe?
Yeah, the 8 could play a big part in the shot.
What's it look like to shave the 2? I guess that's a little nervy from distance, huh? And run the cue ball. There's no real snooker there. I'll tell you what you could do also.
The extension,
you
please.
could cut the 2 a little more, trying to 2-rail it towards the pink, but that's not that great either. I think David's going to push out. I don't think he likes any of it. Your shot's the only one that's really a playable shot from here, it looks like.
Yeah, Hill. It's very dangerous playing thin off it.
I think he's edging it.
Yeah, plus you're leaving it near the 9.
Yeah, and there's no real snooker here. Unless you hit it that good. I'll tell you, he may not get the snooker, but that was one heck of a shot.
Yeah, it was very good indeed under the circumstances.
Really, what do you do here? I mean, do you move the 2 and try and run into the purple, moving the 2 over on the side rail, hoping the purple slows the cue ball down?
The extension, please.
I don't know. This situation doesn't come up very much or very often.
It's a delicate one.
That's the only shot he had, though, is to try and do that right there. Go into the purple, hold it, and just see what he could do.
Yeah, we talk about David's shot. That was also a very nice shot. And the purple 5 may well have just sat on top of the 6 so it doesn't pop.
And I'll tell you, to control the object ball like that, knowing he's got to lay the 2 on the side cushion. David's going to give up the first look. So Anton Raga, who played safe on a 2-ball in the last rack, will be attacking here.
Literally hundreds of matches have been played this week on 26 tables. And it's all come down to a single shootout rack.
Tell you, both these players shown a ton of heart. David's opener here in this rack, and Anton's return with that safety. And now to stun the ball forward right there. Could have rolled it. He's playing safe behind the pink. It's got to go. Did get the snooker, but not only left a bit of a jump shot, but a pretty doable kick. David's one of the best at figuring these things out.
He left a jump on the 3 in rack 23. Alcaide missed it. No jump here.
I have to trust the table here.
Yeah.
Boy, this has got to stay straight. Which it did.
Yeah, kudos to the table fitters. Kudos to Anton Raga. With the amount of tension out there, it's remarkable they can pull the cue back.
Needs to put a little speed on this. Not a ton, but needs some.
The crowd applaud, but Alcaide does not share their enthusiasm.
Can he get it all the ball here?
Yes, I think he can.
Might go for the 2-railer in the corner, pulling the cue ball behind the purple. A little touchy to hold behind the 1 ball, that being the 9. Hit it great.
He's got all the shots, this young man. He's got the bottle. He's got the flair. But he still needs a go to win the match. Alcaide's kicking. He's a good kicker of the ball. Could even pop this in the corner, you know, if he hits it full. Oh, it's going to go safe, JJ. It's going to go safe.
Yeah, and the cue ball near the rail also, so that's going to make things difficult. This is touchy, I'll tell you. Love to run the cue ball, overcutting the 3 and run it up by the purple and the green, but then he's got to control the red, so he's just going to play it lightly, making sure he gets the snooker. And I say making sure, he may have left a bit more of a kick.
Sometimes you get a hill finish and it's over in the blink of an eye. This one, the tension is building to excruciating levels.
You called it before, Phil. The way this event has gone in the matches just seemed to be destiny, this hill finish. Trying to get in behind it. Now, you can't be playing safe here. You have to go for this ball. It's as simple as that. He's got a natural angle.
Yeah, it's just a long ball. Really just real natural. I don't think he has to do a whole lot. 2 rails up to the to the top rail.
What a shot. What a shot. What's he left with, though?
He's okay. He's going to have to make another long one on the purple. He's got to find a gap for it as well.
Yeah, the overhead tells you what JJ's saying is he can position the cue ball for the 5, so the cue ball goes in between the brown and the green.
Raga put every ounce of his being into that 3 ball. Willed it in.
Well, it's that movement like that. You can also tell he's enjoying it. Okay, what do you do? Where do you play position on the green? Tough shot on the purple, but do you elevate the cue?
Surely you don't.
Oh, wow.
I think you've just got to pot it. And hopefully you leave yourself that little shot into the corner. Is he forcing it off the brown 7, JJ? Into the left centre?
Yeah, he doesn't seem too disturbed about what's going to happen next. And he's got to hit this with some speed. 7's going to have a lot of movement. This isn't one he can float, I don't think, anyways.
Yeah, and he's against the clock as well.
Yeah, he had to really hit that with a ton of speed, right? He had to hit that hard.
Yeah, way too soft. Needed to thump that a lot harder. To throw the ball wider.
And his Spanish opponent will never have a better chance than this.
We're not just talking about being European Open champion here for David. We're talking about jumping up in the 1-year Mosconi Cup race to make the team. His buddy, his best friend, is the first player to play for Team Europe this year.
He pots 2 balls and so many doors will be flung open. One last effort. Alcaide, dynamic David in Deutschland, and the first to congratulate him after his opponent is Francisco Sanchez Ruiz. Last year they were World Cup of Pool champions. Now individually, David Alcaide takes the gold, and he takes to the table. Who says, Carl, that nice guys finish second?
What a final that was. What a moment for David Alcaide. European Open champion. Raga played a part as well. And he'll be back for sure. But the moment belongs to the Spaniard.
He won that Jacobi Open in Scotland. It was a small event, but it's ignited Alcaide. He's come here, a different player, and in goes the 9 off that far, or that near